welcome to another episode of JAKPA Stories, the podcast where every story inspires another. Today on the podcast, I have a guest which we've looked forward to interviewing for quite a while. I'm not going to introduce her. I'll let her do justice to her introduction. Who are we here with today?
Really? I don't know how to introduce myself, but anyway, my name is Nadine. I'm the author of Quarterback, an immigrant's guide to corporate North America, which shockingly became a bestseller one day after its launch in June 2025. I think that's the thing I take the most pride in 2025. So that would be my introduction.
That is fantastic. I couldn't have done it better because I would have probably touched on Quarterback and a few other things.
Yeah.
But Quarterback in itself, which that has been an amazing achievement.
Thank
So
you.
we'll get into Quarterback a lot later on, but this is JAKPA Stories.
Yep,
Have you heard the word JAKPA before?
of course. Of course.
So,
if you hang a lot around Nigerians, there's no way you would.
I
have
knew
learned
you were
some
going to
certain
say
words.
that, yeah?
Yeah.
So, haven't heard the word JAKPA. What does the word JAKPA mean to you personally?
It means, from the way I've seen most of them use it,
Yeah.
it comes across to me like running away from your country.
Running away. Okay.
Not just leaving, but like running away, because the way the word sounds,
Yeah.
JAKPA, is like just
Jack.
running away. Yeah, like you don't even care to pack whatever or tell people goodbye. You just run away, and they're chasing you.
Oh my God, that's interesting. So yeah, in the context of the podcast, so the word JAKPA, it actually means to take off, to run,
Exactly.
right? It means to move. A lot of people, when they get to understand what the word means, then they convert that to a personal meaning. I've heard liberation, I've heard transition from the old to the new,
Oh, wow.
just so many different ways. But in the context of the podcast, we try to focus on the journey, right? The journey before someone ever decides to immigrate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Before you ever immigrate, during the process of immigrating, and then after you've immigrated, when you've chosen wherever you want to go to, whether it's Canada, US, Australia, UK, when you finally landed to where you wanted to go to, how do you navigate things from there, right? So if we come back to your own journey, give us a little bit about your background.
Okay, I originally come from Cameroon. The journey before immigration, for me, it was really more of, I grew up seeing people graduate from university or finish high school and go do university abroad,
Yeah.
or finish bachelor's in Cameroon and go do master's abroad. So if it's something that you grew up seeing, then it also just becomes, okay, that'll be my part too. I'm going to graduate from high school and I'm going to go study abroad. I'll finish university and I'll go do my master's in the United States or in the UK. It was really only the United States and the UK back then.
Yeah.
Nobody thought Canada existed. I don't think we even knew about Canada. No offense to Canada. Canada is home. I love Canada now. Of course, this is where I am. But yeah, at the time, everyone was jackpotting to the United States and the UK. So
Yeah.
I thought, well, yeah, after high school, I'm going to go to a bachelor's in the UK or in the United States. And that didn't work out for me. After high school, I tried. I don't know, for some reason, it was so hard to get a visa then.
Right.
I sure don't know why. They always kept telling me I won't come back. Well, of course, I was not going to go back. So,
I think most of them, they already know. They're like, okay, yeah, you want to go get a visa, go for, college or university or whatever. I think for most of them, they already know that, we're here, we're in your country, we know how things are. You probably not come back.
yeah, but they know the truth, right? Why did they make that a requirement? Because even the ones that they gave and didn't deny them on the grounds of you won't come back, didn't come back.
Of course. I think it's just, they kind of have like other factors that they start picking on,
Yeah.
So schooling back in Cameroon, funny enough, that's also where I went to school.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times that's where we connect the most, because for those who don't know, I have both my Cameroonian history, my Nigerian history, American and now Canadian. It's all kind of mixed together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how was growing up in Cameroon like for you?
I would say Cameroon really formed who I am. The grit, the resilience, the ethics, the values. It's really all from my upbringing in Cameroon. It's a religious country, very rich in culture. So parents tend to bring up their kids with the mindset of you have to work hard for things to get given to you. You have to work hard to get your family out of poverty. You don't have to go to the club. You don't have to drink. You don't have to smoke. Like all of those rules. That's how growing up was for me.
Yeah.
And to an extent, like right now, there are some things that I had to intentionally say to myself. You have to let go of this. Like it's great to bring that I was brought up to think I have to work extremely hard to get everything in life. But at some point in time, you also want to get things you didn't work for. It feels good.
Not everything has to come by hard work.
Not everything has to come by hard work. Some things can come by smart work, and some things can come by strategy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the upbringing was a good thing and a bad thing in a way, which is another reason I highlighted this in quarterback, because then when you come to corporate America, it translates to I have to work hard, and then God will reward me for the things that I do. But you don't know that it's not just working hard. Strategy is part of it.
Strategy.
Yeah, but the hard work part is really good. But when you get here, you have to learn that I have to work hard and
add some things to it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like hard work from that foundation was good as a good structure to give you a good perspective about life.
Mm-hmm.
But fast forward, you sort of learn that hard work is not the only way.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to top it up with strategy.
Hard work alone
Yeah.
is not the only way. You need hard work and you need strategy. So the upbringing was more of, I'm going to work hard. Let me use this. I'll work hard like this to get this reward.
Yeah.
But the reality should be, if I work hard like this, I add this strategy, and then what I'm going to get is going to be 15 of this, right?
I see.
So that's what I mean by everything not necessarily needs to come through hard work. You do the part of the hard work, and then you add the right strategy to get a multiplier. But our upbringing was more of one-to-one. Like you work hard for one and you get one. But now if you work hard one, you add strategy, that's two. It should be able to give you 100.
Right.
Yeah.
So that multiplication effect comes in with strategy when you top it up to hard work.
Yes.
I like that. So that's part of growing up, some of the things that formed who you are. And, you know, for those who don't know you, when they look at you today, if you were to put it in a percentage kind of, you know, how many percent of that foundation formed who you are today?
90%.
90%?
Yes.
So that's like...
Yeah, the hard work paid off. It's that mindset definitely paid off, because this is one thing that makes me so grateful. That I always say to myself that I was not the one writing quarterback. It was God writing through me. Because when you listen to people's stories when they moved to a new country and the kind of things they went through, it's excruciating how much pain and suffering people had to go through. And I wish more people can come out and tell their stories so that people understand the reality. Yeah. You don't leave your country, you give out all your clothes and shoes, and you think I'm coming to a land of milk and honey and everything is going to be fine. For the average person, it took them at least 2 years to get a balance.
I agree. 100%.
At least 2 years to get a balance. And if you didn't have that foundation of hard work in those 2 years, you will lose it. You will go wayward, you probably end up on the streets, or you pack your things and go back home.
Very true.
So if it is that foundation that helped me survive those survival years.
Amazing.
Before I got to a point, okay, now this is balanced. What other strategies can I add to this?
Yeah.
But if I didn't have it, I would have lost it at the foundational
They've
stage.
probably given up at some point.
So many people did. There are so many people right now that are in careers that is not initially what they thought they were going to be in when they got here.
100%.
There are others who are entrepreneurs not by choice, because they are like, okay, getting into this workforce, getting back in this career is proving impossible. Let me do something for
To
myself.
find something else.
Yeah.
Yep.
So people have gone into different things, not necessarily by choice, but because the survivor stage took them in directions that they either didn't have the willpower to will themselves back on the track that they really wanted to be and focus.
Yeah.
For some, the survivor stage took them in directions that eventually ended up being larger than what they thought their lives would turn out to be. For others, it took them in directions that till today they still say, this is what I really wanted to be, but life had other
plans for me.
other plans for me.
Yeah.
So how you handle that survivor stage, it really depends on the kind of values that were ingrained in you, and also the circle of people, the first circle of people that you meet when you come into the country.
That point right there, it's like, if I were to give it stars, that's a 5-star right there. Because you've touched on some really important points, which for anyone out there that is thinking of immigrating, or whether you just arrived, like these points that you've just heard, it can make you or break you. It can form you and make you move faster, or you could go in different directions. And that's the reason why we started JAKPA Stories. Because when I think back about my own journey, when I arrived, there are a lot of things that I would have done a lot faster if only I had the right people to guide me. And one of the points you made here was who you have in your sphere of contact, who you listen to when you arrive. It actually puts you in the right direction or in a completely wrong direction. Now, for me, when I arrived, I came in with PR, right? So for me, I came in, I had a friend then who was already here for almost like 10 years. Now, that person didn't come with a PR. That person just jackpot, like the real sense of it.
Yeah.
Right?
So they're genuinely having a lot.
Yeah.
Like filled with a lot of possibilities.
Exactly. So they had a visa, they just took off.
Yeah.
Arrived, came up with one story, and they were never going back. So when I came in and I told the person, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm a project manager, and that's the direction where I want to do it. She was like, you want to be a project manager in Canada? You will go and start looking for one of these menial jobs to start with. What makes you think you just came in that you're going to be a project manager? I've been here for like over 7-8 years, and I'm not even thinking about that. And I just smiled.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I smiled.
That mindset after 8 years shocks me. Then the circle of people they roll with, they really need a change.
Yeah. So when you said that, that's the first thing that came to my mind. And I didn't argue with him. I was like, oh yeah, you have more Canadian experience. So I just went ahead, fast forward 3 weeks after arriving, I got my first job as a project manager. I didn't even bother telling him. When I told him, it was after like a month later. And I just told him in passing. I was like, oh, did I even tell you that I started working as a project manager with one of the big telecom companies? And I could see the shock on his face. So when you make that statement, it makes total sense. Because for a lot of people coming in, most people don't do a lot of research. I think in that whole excitement to just be in a new place, they arrive, they connect with some people, whatever those people in their contacts have been doing, people can only tell you what they know.
People can only tell you what they know. And the reason why I say that, it's a combination of like the circle of people you meet and your upbringing is because for myself, when I came, I graduated best accounting student in Cameroon 2 times, ordinary level, advanced level, 25 points, all A's, GC advanced level. Received so much recognition for being an outstanding accounting student that when I got here, accounting was the only thing I wanted to do. And so people told me, you're a foreigner, 1, 2, you're a black girl. Who is going to employ you to count their money? Go do healthcare and take care of some old people. Those were all the voices around me when I came.
Wow.
But do you know why I didn't go the other direction? My dad had brought me up with so much positivity being pumped down into my mind. And my dad would come to my room at 5 a.m. You're going to be the best accountant the world will ever know. You become a chartered accountant. So then, having been a best student, all of the applause, everybody looking up to you. When I came here, the confidence was too much for someone to tell me nobody will, that nobody is gonna hire you to count their money. I'm like, do you know who I am?
Oh my God.
They'll be lucky to have me to count their money. So whatever I'm gonna do. So I didn't even have to join a right circle to know that what they're saying they're on their own.
Sense.
Yeah. Like coming from a home where my parents believed so much in me, sent me to all the best schools, and they're telling me you will do it. Everybody will look up to you. Like, there's no way that external influence would tell me, Nadine, that you will not be a chartered professional accountant. No, it was not happening.
Absolutely impossible.
No. But then there are other people that it was just a matter of the wrong circle.
Yeah.
It was because they may not have even had the kind of upbringing or the support that I had, but if they landed and they were in the right circle, they would have got it right. But they landed and they were in a circle that told them, you're a foreigner or you're a black person, nobody's going to employ you to do this. And there's too much discrimination. This, that, and the third. You need those positive voices in your ear. Yeah.
I agree. I can even remember for myself, you know, growing up when your parents have put certain things in your head, even when you want to be wayward, and you remember the son of
exactly of who you are,
you automatically realign yourself, right? So it's almost like sometimes you hear the voice without even your dad being there. Right? So it's almost like a compass on its own when you don't have people around, those loved ones that is, have been speaking those positive words to you.
Yes.
So let's go back to Cameroon. So it was after high school, that's when you decided, you know what, everybody's taking off to US, UK. So how did Canada even come in the picture for you?
That's a very interesting story, especially in my case, because I've graduated best accounting student in the Republic of Cameroon, having a result that had never been had by nobody.
Wow.
You always got 25 points in general education, the sciences, the Our Lady of Lords and the Sacred Heart College people.
Shout out to my Sacred Heart people.
Yeah. But then this is me coming from Repacol, a pure commercial school, a business student. First time in history, I have 25 points. I was on CRTV, Hello Cameroon, interviews everywhere. Everybody would think I was either going to get a scholarship to go study in the United States. But guess what? With all of that, Brazzaville to Cameroon, there's no way I didn't get scholarship.
Wow.
Yeah. I go into the embassy and they tell me you will not come back. Can you imagine how that affected me? Then it dawned on me that I was going to do university in Cameroon. I tried 4 times, I think maybe 7 times. They all kept saying, you won't come back, your family cannot afford that.
And that was all to US or UK?
Both, I tried both.
Okay.
I think the US said no about 7 times. And then I did the UK 3 times, they said no. So then I think I got into depression because this is this girl that everybody has seen on TV.
You're a star
I'm a star. Everybody is like when you're in the streets, everybody's talking about that Nadine girl who broke history. And so they're like, she's surely going to go to Harvard. Then they see me on first day of resumption at University of Boya. I'm first person seated at the front of the class. Nobody knows that I've just received about 14 rejections and I'm sitting there that day. My goodness, that's how I got into pageantry. So because I was so depressed, it really bothered me because I couldn't believe, like, after all of that hard work and everything, they still told me, the jewel of Cameroon in commercial education at the time, they still told me that I won't come back or my family cannot afford this.
Like, what are these guys feeling like?
Yes, I had to bring myself down from that la land and then and accept that.
And wake up to reality.
And then the worst part of it is, my friends who had 10, 15, 8 points were all in the US at that point.
Oh no. Oh my God. I can imagine how painful that would be.
Oh my goodness. So then there had to be an outlet to take off
Just vent everything.
to vent everything and accept the reality that I'm going to study in Cameroon. That's why I think I'm a young girl with an old mind, because I experienced pain and rejection and all those things very early on in my life. I think I was 18 at this point.
Wow.
That's
a lot to be
failing
dealing
publicly
with.
in public eye. Yeah. So the thing I learned in that moment is that you have to always do your best in the moment, regardless of where you think you're going.
Yeah.
Because I so much knew that there's no way I'm doing a bachelor's in Cameroon. I checked out of Cameroon, even when I was still in Cameroon.
So you were physically present,
But
but you had
not in the
mentally
country.
checked out.
Yes. So in all of that spotlight, there were other really good companies in Cameroon with just an advanced level that offered me jobs with good salaries. With advanced level, I
Interesting.
haven't gone to the university. I turned it down because
You just didn't want anything
I didn't want
to do
anything
with.
to. Yeah.
You're like, I know I'm on my way out of
I'm
here.
on my way out, Sonara. I don't need your job. This one, I don't
Keep
need your
it.
job. PWS, no, I don't need your job. I'm going abroad. What am I doing here? And then I find myself in a point where 10 rejections, back to square zero.
Oh my God. And by then, those opportunities have
Those
already
opportunities are all gone. And then
Yeah.
I think I had received over 3 million in financial scholarships. Bursaries gave me money. Repacol, the school I graduated from, gave me money. Like, different organizations were just giving me financial scholarships too. My account was full. I lost
Interesting.
all of that in the process of like the visa application fee,
Wow.
everything at 18.
Oh
So
my God.
there's no failure I'm going to
That's-
experience at 25
that's
or 30 that is going to.
I will shake you a bit.
No. I'm like, yeah. So then I'm like, okay, I'm starting from zero. Let's go to the University of
I can
Goya.
imagine
Yeah.
an 18-year-old having to be on the spotlight, having to be that shining light in front of everyone. And the ambitions is not, apart from the ambitions that you have for yourself, every other person had ambitions for you.
Everybody else had ambitions
Yeah.
for me. So the pain was not just, I failed. It was also, I failed people.
Yeah.
Like, it was, parents used to watch me on TV and tell their daughters, I need you to be like Nadine. Right? So you can imagine going through all that at the age of 18. So then now I go to the last minute, because I knew I was not going to go to the University of Goya. So up to the 1 week to school, I don't even have a house. Like, I haven't even looked for a hostel.
No preparation, nothing.
So I had to find somebody to live with in that first year, because remember, this was like a plan number 10. It was not plan A,
Wasn't
plan B,
even-
plan Z, or plan Z. So I had to find a friend to live with in that first year, while trying to see how I'm going to get a place of my own. And then I start school, and then I'm trying to battle with, I'm like, okay, fine, I'm here. This is Cameroon. I never wanted to be here. I'm really not here, but at the same time, I cannot fail. I still need to be the best today. I need to continue this record. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
So pageantry became an outlet for me. Like, so I'll go to school, come back, go to this modeling agency, practice the catwalk and all that.
Yeah.
Just so that I'm not at home thinking about all of the things that didn't go right.
So it was just a way to distract
It was
yourself,
a way to
sort of.
distract me, which now became the thing that took me out of the country.
Wow.
So then I'm doing accounting, the thing that was made me the shining star, best student in the country, all of that, and then then completely failed me at the same. I don't know if it's the accounting that failed me or it's the various embassies that failed me. But I was rock bottom, rock bottom, trying to pick myself up. Picked up this hobby to pick myself up.
Yeah.
Contested in my first pageant, became first runner up. Eventually became Miss Cameroon, United Nations.
Yeah.
And then all of the activities I was doing behind that, like the conferences, speaking to women in forced marriages, all that.
Yeah.
That was what gained the attention of St. Francis Xavier University in Canada. And then they invited me over to come do community development leadership for women. And then I had a visa in my hand within 1 week. It was so counterintuitive, because this is me now at 22. After somebody would think best accounting student in the entire country,
Yep.
give her a visa to go study accounting in the toppest universities in the
In the
world.
world.
And then I'm on my way to Canada to do community development leadership from pageantry.
Wow.
So the thing that is almost like the stone the builders rejected became the cornerstone. Like even when I'll say, oh mom, I'm going to do this pageant, I have to wear bikini. My mom will be, you are not going there. You will not wear no bikini. And then my dad is like, leave her.
Yeah.
Allow her to go do this thing. She's not failing in school. She's still doing well in school. I don't see how the pageantry is distracting her. Let her go do it. Today now when I sit down and I ask her, I'm like, you thought this accounting that you're like, I should forget everything and do accounting. Will take me fine. Like,
where did
I'm
the
like,
accountant take
accountant.
you to?
Then it's pageantry that brought me to Canada.
Yeah. That's really a twist.
Yeah.
Because the thing that you're really good at, which if you look at the regular education system, that's what makes you a star.
Yeah.
But you went into pageantry with no plans of ever trying to use that to even
No, it was
travel.
pastime to get my mind off whatever it is that I had.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pastime.
And that is the thing that eventually became that visa or the ticket out of Cameroon.
Fully sponsored, everything.
So that came with a scholarship.
It came as a scholarship. They said, it was community development leadership for female leaders from developing countries.
Okay.
So even when I landed in Canada and I was in class doing this program, I was with ministers and delegates, like government officials from different countries
From
in
other
Africa.
countries.
And then I'm
Interesting.
there because I was a pageant queen. Like, there was even nobody in my age bracket in that class. And I just sat there. Most times I thought, this girl just missed her way. What is she really doing here?
Yeah.
Me too, I didn't understand, like, what am I really doing here? I'm just...
So you did see a lot of young students.
There was no young person there was no young person. You know, when opportunities like that come to Africa, the leaders take it themselves and come. Yeah.
Because they always want their own people to
Exactly.
to
But
go.
the opportunity didn't come to me through the government of the country. They reached out to me directly because from way back, I've always used social media. So
Okay.
in the pageant days, with everything I was doing, when I was going for all my outreach, going to all the remote villages, doing all of those conferences, everything went on my
You're always
Facebook
posting
profile.
it.
I was posting about it.
That's the
So
power, power of visibility.
That's the power of visibility. It can break down those bottlenecks that the opportunities will come and they'll take it for themselves.
Yeah.
So if the opportunity came to me directly.
Interesting. I mean, for anybody that is into social media, I think a lot of people get very nervous, or some people are like super private. But sometimes just what you explain, that power of visibility, people don't know what you're doing until they see it out there.
And this is 2013 when social media wasn't
It was
the
still
way
it was
is
still crawling
now.
its way up.
Yeah, it was still crawling away, but I understood the power of it from way back then.
Wow.
Way back. I was just like, oh yeah, this is my page, and then I'll just do lives. I'm like, okay, today I'm going to this village, I'm going to talk to this set of people. These people have been forced into early marriages, 22-year-old.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's why even right now it's hard for the community aspect to be taken out of me because community
it's
made
always been
me.
part of it. And it made
Community
you who
made
you
me.
are.
It was not the accounting. It was not the chartered accountant. It was not the fancy companies. No, it was community. That's changed my
powerful.
story. Yeah.
That's powerful. So you get into Canada, you're doing this course where you're like the youngest there. You're not seeing other young students. And how was that transition period for you? Was there, first of all, getting to Canada, was there any kind of culture shock for you when you came in?
In those early days, I was on a 100% sponsored program, being with these leaders in class, studying things like conflict resolution.
And how long was the
dealing with
program?
vulnerable men. It was 2 months.
Okay.
So my real Canadian experience kicked in after the program was done, because then after the program was done, I now transitioned into being an international student with self-funded, doing the accounting.
Okay. So before the program wrapped up, you applied for an accounting course.
Yeah, I applied
and then
for
you started funding yourself.
I started funding myself.
That's when the pressure started.
That's when I experienced being in a foreign country.
So you're no longer under the umbrella of
of St. Francis that
yeah.
no program is done. As a matter of fact, all of those leaders went back home. They are very well to do in the
Yep.
country. These are government leaders. They all went back home. And now this little girl was like, okay, now what next?
What next?
Hey, go and do the accounting. That accounting that.
But at least the good thing at that point was it had opened the door.
It had opened the door.
And you were in, you were here, you know, after multiple rejections by, you know, UK, US, you're finally in a place where you could start pursuing that dream of accounting.
Yes.
So let's walk back to when you decided to get self-funded. Because I know a lot of students, most people try to, you know, obviously immigrate using, you know, education as an option. But most of the time, the reality on ground, most people don't really know the reality on ground. And it's good. You could see things on websites. You could see things on, you know, the university booklets and stuff like that. But sometimes it's only when you start that the real experience, what it takes to work and school at the same time and be able to pay your school fees and be able to juggle that with all the menial jobs and everything.
That's the real Japa story. Yeah.
So let's put on your student hat, your self-funded student
I'm self-funded at this point. International student tuition, I think it's $40,000 a year.
Wow.
When I was living in Cameroon, I had $100 that my mom gave me. I was coming to a fully funded program. All of us knew I was not coming back after those 2 months.
Yeah.
Right? Because finally, this dream that I wanted to achieve 3 years ago,
you can't see it and go back.
I'm not seeing it. I'm going back. And so then I'm transitioning to being an international student accounting in SAID. I had the SAID offer before I left Cameroon.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah, the SAID actually came to Cameroon the same week that I had the visa to move. SAID was in Cameroon for a student fair, which I attended, and then I filled the forms, and then they sent me an offer letter. So I'm leaving Cameroon, I have the SAID offer letter, but then I'm coming to this program. So it felt like I had a plan. Okay. Like, okay, when this program is done, and then I'll transition and start my international. Yeah.
Because you knew the name, you knew where it was located.
I knew where it was located, and I was like, I'll just get a job, and then I'll be paying. Yeah, that's the perfect plan. Ignorance. Yeah, if it looks like a very perfect plan, I'll just get a job, then I'll be working now and paying my fee.
Yeah.
What job are you going to be working and paying a fee of $40,000? Then you're thinking about just the fee. You haven't thought about the fact that you have to pay rent. Housing? If you have a phone, you have to pay phone bill. Yep. You need winter jackets. You need to eat. Yep. When I tell you that I used to go days without food because I didn't have money to buy food. My first Christmas in Canada, I sat in my room, I put sugar in water and drank because I didn't have money to buy food.
Wow. that is deep.
I put sugar in water and drank for energy because my energy was depleted from working multiple survival jobs, 3 different jobs, from Walmart to Second Cup to call center because I want to raise $40,000 international student tuition. By the time I was hitting the end of the first year, I called my parents and I said, I came, I saw, I conquered. There's no money to buy a ticket to come back. Borrow back, I don't know, steal, whatever it is. Get me an air ticket. Let me come back to my father's house.
You were ready to go back?
I was ready to go back. It was too much.
Oh my God.
For a 23-year-old, $40,000 tuition staring at me, no place to stay, getting evicted from the low-cost housing that I had applied to get, sleeping on the floor, drinking sugar and water for Christmas when we used to eat chicken and meat and go to my father's house. No. Like, I tried.
You're like this. This American dream is not.
This American dream is not American. It's not.
We need to figure a way out of here.
Yeah, I was so thin. A friend of mine came from Saskatchewan to visit me, and she took a photo with me and she sent it to my mom. My mom burst into tears.
Oh,
my mom said, "Tell her to come back. Being abroad is not by force.
Wow.
Let her come back. Let her come. I better have a child alive with me in Cameroon. We are suffering, and a dead child abroad. Tell her to come back."
Wow. Oh my God. Like that is part of the story, which a lot of times when people see the glory, if someone looks at Nadine of today, right? And they don't know what you had to navigate to get to where you are. they only see the glory, they try to relate with that part, but there's something deeper
There's
underneath
something
all
deeper
of that.
underneath all that. And community came through. Like, there was why I just went to work, and I had some Nigerian friends. I was working at Walmart, stocking shelves overnight. I said, I'm not eating for 2 days because the money that they even pay me here, I'm keeping it to pay my tuition.
Wow.
I told this girl, she just took it upon herself that every night when she was coming to work, she had a bowl of jollof rice for me.
Oh, wow.
She would just come and say, hey, Niba, she'll call me Niba. Niba, this one is for you.
Oh, no. That's so sweet. So I'm sure if I was to ask the question now, Niger jollof or Ghanaian jollof, what would you say?
All of them are nice.
Oh,
All of them are nice.
that jollof rice, you have to pay it back. Wow, but that's really amazing because, you know, sometimes when you look at different people, everybody's navigating something tough one way or the other.
Everybody is navigating something
Yeah.
tough.
And I think it appeals to our humanity most of the time that, you know, sometimes try to go above and beyond for other people.
Especially if they tell you, I just came in 6 months ago, I just came in last year, and like they are still finding their. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
people helped me. People were good. People were kind. Is it the days where I'm standing at the train station, it's hitting -40? Global warming has done a great job. The weather is friendly. -40. I don't have proper winter jackets, proper winter boots. Of course, where do I get a car from? I can't afford a car.
Yeah.
I'm standing at the bus stop waiting for the bus to. I live at Chinook. I'm working at Tuscany. It's like an hour ride by train. But I
Completely
have
different-
to go
different
to work
parts
because
of town.
how will I? Yeah, different parts of town. Then somebody will just be like, hey, Nadine, I'm and just calling to check on you. I'm saying I'm stuck at the train station or I'm stuck at the bus stop. Bus is not coming. Don't worry. Tell me your location. I'll come pick you up and drop you up at work.
Oh, wow.
Just sometimes just dropping somebody up at work on a -40 day, it's a lifesaver. If I miss that shift, I won't have rent for that month.
Yeah. It's like everything is stacked up,
Everything
back
is
to
stacked
back.
up. Everything is stacked up back to back. It was so calculated. I know that I need to work 10 shifts in 2 weeks to be able to pay my rent. I miss one shift, the rent is incomplete.
Wow. So how did you navigate all of that?
Yeah,
And how long was your course at SAGE?
it was 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
So the first year, after the first year, you almost gave up.
After the first year, I almost gave up. I think it was the same week that they had actually bought me the ticket to come back home. That I
Oh,
got.
they actually bought the ticket?
Yeah, my mom, it was like even though they bought the ticket, my mind was like, "Go, Father, faith, this is my land of milk and honey. I will make it here."
Yeah.
You know that I'm not going back home on this ticket. It's the week I was supposed to, the ticket was scheduled to leave, that I got my first job that changed my life.
Wow.
So that means I had to stop working 3 jobs. I could now buy a $2,000 car to take me from point A to point B. I could now sleep. I never slept. I did not sleep.
Wow.
Because I'll go to school, leave school, and then go to job A, go to job B, go to job C. So I'm getting back home at 6 a.m. I take a shower. I go to class at 7. Sometimes I'm not able to make it back home. I finish stocking the shelf at Walmart. I enter
go
the
straight
washroom and change
to school.
and go to school straight. I have a house where I barely see my bed. And there was one day that I left work. I was not going to work that weekend. And then I bought things. I'm like, okay, I'm going to cook. I think I left on Friday night. As I entered my house, I fell on my bed. I think I slept and woke up on Sunday morning. I probably woke up and went to use the washroom. But the time that I was conscious,
Very conscious.
I saw the food items I bought from Friday on the kitchen counter. It was on Sunday morning. That's how tired my body was.
That's when your body tells
Yes,
you, hey,
you have to shut down.
you have to shut down.
Yeah.
You've missed sleep for a couple of days.
You've
You've
missed
missed
sleep
rest
you
for a
need
couple of
rest.
days.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, for a lot of students out there, it's real, navigating those challenges. And for a lot of them, it's because of that whole transition, right? They're looking at a place where there's hope, right? Compared to where they're coming from. They're looking at a place where they feel like, hey, if I can just navigate this phase,
Yeah.
there's light at the end of this tunnel. Now, I want you to speak to a student out there who is currently going through some really tough period.
Oh my God, they are going through it. They
yeah.
are like, there was one time I was speaking at an event. And I actually went into the detail and the depth of everything that I went through. And at the end, a couple of students came to me and they said, "Thank you for sharing your story. I was at the point of going back. But
Wow.
if after all that, you could make it, then I can stay."
I love that.
Yeah, I speak to a lot of people, and a lot of times they think I'm the only one suffering like this. No, you're not the only one.
Yeah.
So many people are going through it. It helps to know that you're not the only one, and it's just a phase. Hang in there, don't give up. You will give up if every day you come back home and you feel discouraged to sit on the computer and apply for a job. I tell you what, I will work all those shifts, barely get sleep. But when I come back home, I'll sit on my computer for at least 1 hour and apply for a job, because I knew that the only way out of all this was to get a proper job.
Yeah.
So no matter what it took, I did not go to bed without sending out applications.
So it's almost, you had a plan, you were super focused on the task that you needed to do. Despite all the stress, despite all the craziness,
I'll still apply for jobs.
because you knew that that was your way out.
Yeah.
Out of this stacked up cycle that doesn't give you any sort of rest in between. So eventually you get that job. That was an accounting job.
Yeah.
Okay. And it sort of created some balance for you.
It created balance for me.
You didn't have to be hustling around the clock 24 hours. So you could focus on going to school.
Yeah.
Come back, get some rest.
Yeah. That was it. And it just became one amazing job from that point to the other. And it's never gone back.
I like that.
So that's why a lot of times, sometimes even when I go for career fairs and I couldn't come because I had to pick up a shift. Like, that is your plan B.
Yeah.
You have to do well in your plan B, but if you have to take a day off to attend an event that could give you that job that you have to be, or you have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to do it. So that's where striking a balance and being focused comes. You need to know that this is temporary. And it's not enough to know, you also have to act like so. And when I say acting like it's temporary, it's not giving your best on that job. You have to give your best on the job, because even the survival job, you don't know where it will take you.
Yeah.
But when I say acting as temporary, if you will do a survival job, I will stock shelves 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., change in the washroom, go to class, finish class at 4, go down to the library, even if it's from 4 to 5, because then my next shift is starting at 5. That 1 hour in between, I am there rapid fire sending out applications to every accounting firm. Also, it's only 1 hour. I didn't say, it's just 1 hour, let me just relax and watch TV. No. So that was a cycle of working around the clock for me.
It's like action-packed, and you focused on the thing that could really change stuff for you.
Yes.
Even though the window was very small.
I used it.
But you still leveraged it very well.
Yeah. No time for birthdays. Let's go to the club. I didn't have the time. This person is doing this party. You never saw me at any party. I'm not saying if you have the chance, go. But I didn't even have the time.
Birthdays is for people who can even relax a bit. You were not relaxed.
I was not relaxed.
But after you got the job, did you at least go for a birthday?
No, after I got the job, then I started the CPA. There still was no time.
Oh, and I know how intensive the CPA is.
How intense the CPA is. I'm working in consulting, working all of the long hours. Then I have to come back and study for my CPA. I have assignments to push out. Really, my life was just round the clock working. It's like 2020. I had my CPA in 2020 and then went straight into an MBA. I think ever since coming to Canada, it's only in like 2024, 2025 that I had time on my plate to like just go for events. Then people feel, it's like you're always at an event. I'm compensating for 10 years.
It's like 10 whole years of
constant
like solid
walking,
back to back.
Back to back.
If it's not work, it's school. If it's not school, it's a certification that you have to take.
Yes, that's been my life.
10 years. That is solid time to put in.
Solid 10 years. So when people come in and they want to be here in 1 year, I'm just like, are you serious?
You got to pay the price.
Enjoy
Right?
the journey. And no, you don't have to go through what I go through. That's the importance of mentorship and sponsorship.
Yeah.
People can help you achieve it in a shorter time. But don't be weary if it's not coming in 1 year.
Yeah. And he doesn't have to,
Yeah.
like, sometimes I think part of it as well, it comes with the learnings. And the learnings is also what builds you, right? Because sometimes I remember, like, some of the certification in my field, like the PMP and all that, right? The first time I wrote the PMP, I failed it, but I failed it just by a very small percentage. And I was angry that I had to go retake it. But because that was going to be part of what I get to do for a long time, when I took it the second time, I saw so many different areas where, till date, when I look back, I'm like, I'm glad that I actually failed it the first time. Because that pain of going through it the second time exposed a lot of things for me and much more learnings. So sometimes that speed, it works for some people, they move fast. For some other people, I think it's focusing on the learnings along the way.
It's the learnings along the way, and it refines you, right? It prepares you for success. One thing that a lot of people always tell me is, oh my God, you're extremely humble, you're extremely down to earth. When someone meets you, they wouldn't think it's that person that they see on LinkedIn or Instagram or on stage talking, because your person. I'm like, it's because of the journey to get to this point. What am I being proud of? Why will I be cocky?
It's nothing to
exactly.
be proud of.
That journey shapes you and molds you and actually really prepares you for greatness.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have prepared to have it easier. I probably would have crashed and burned at some point.
Sure.
But because of all that journey, I got a better perspective of life. I'm better able to handle failure. I'm better able to handle success, and I'm able to put things into context. There is no time I've ever spoken somewhere that after that people don't walk up to me and say, you were talking to me.
Yeah.
But I was talking from my story. But that's because my story is the story of many people.
Yeah.
And that's why they relate. The greatest feedback I receive from quarterback is, I was reading about myself. Everyone tells me, I was reading about myself, but I was writing about myself. So imagine if I skipped all of those phases. What story will I be writing about? Who is going to relate to it?
Yeah.
Imagine if my life was as easy as the daughter of Jeff Bezos. How many percentage of the world's population
Have that type of
lifestyle and story? So that's why when I speak, it's like it cuts through to so many people, because God took me through that journey to get to this point and be able to talk about it so openly and so vulnerably to liberate so many other people. When you're going through something and you feel like you're the only one going through it, it's a lot more painful. And if you're not careful, you will just go into a bigger hole of depression, and then your life is going to take a downward spiral. But if you're going through something and then you look around and you're like, okay, A went through this, B went through this, C went through this, instantly your perspective changes, and the process of liberation starts from the mind first.
Yeah.
When you feel like you're not a victim, this is happening to me alone, it's just me, the world hates me, God hates me, it's hard to come out of that hole.
Very true.
But when you see it from a perspective of, that's how the immigrant journey is. Sometimes you have to go through survival before you get to success.
Yeah.
Then you are piped up to go through that survival stage with a positive mental attitude. And that's what makes the difference.
Agreed. I think for a lot of immigrants, like, your story is very relatable. Especially for someone who is coming in through school, it's much more relatable.
Yeah.
For someone who came in through, PR, they just got the permanent residence. They came in, they could be able to get a job. A lot of people start with survivor jobs, first of all, which comes back to that relatable part of the story where most students start from there.
Yeah.
before they ever get a work permit, before they ever get like a real job, right? Now, a lot of people sort of get stuck in that survival stage where they have a survival job that doesn't give them the time to do certain things like you talked about. And they really tend to struggle a lot within that period. Before they know it, they're probably doing that for like 2, 3 years. Now, for someone that probably came in with a PR and is within that phase where they're navigating that survival job, from your story, I can say you actively set aside some time to put into your plan A, which is getting a better job, right? What do you think happens to a lot of people who find themselves in that phase and it's taking a lot longer than they ever
It's lack
expected?
of discipline. To be honest, it's lack of discipline. Because they'll tell you, oh, there's no time, I come back, I'm tired. But these people, when there are events, you see them at those events. You see them at those events. They are here for this birthday on Monday, here for this one on Tuesday. See, look, listen, this is your life.
Yeah.
When I was going through the CPA, I was not available for nothing. I was not available. I knew that I go to work, I come back, I sit my ass down and I study. I was not, you just have to be unapologetic about it. There is no time for this now. There's going to be time for it later. This is your life you're building. So when someone tells me, oh, there was no time, I'm like, no, the problem is that there was no time. The problem is you're not focused. You've lost focus. Because if you know what the goal is, it helps you to pick and choose what activity am I taking part in and what activity am I not taking part in, because you only have 24 hours in a day.
I like that.
And you will do that. You have to do the survival job to pay the bills. But then you have to create the time to look for a job.
Yeah.
Or to take the certification that will get you the job.
So it falls under discipline.
It falls under discipline.
Yeah.
It's
folks,
discipline.
Folks are not, maybe they don't want it that much.
They want to look the part.
Yeah.
And so they're rather going to invest a lot more time to dress well and go for events. You're not there yet. You're not there yet. Don't do it.
So understand where you are.
Understand where you are
and what you need to
where
get
you
to where you
and
are
do what
to
you
be.
need to do to get to where you need to be.
Yeah.
Stop trying to act like what you're not.
Yeah. That's deep. And I think for a lot of folks out there, the FOMO is what most people are still struggling with. And the only solution to FOMO is discipline.
It's discipline.
Because that fear of missing out of what other people are doing, maybe going for these events, going for these parties and all that, that fear of missing out, you've just not put in enough time and discipline into where you want to see yourself going to.
I think in 2024, I was at an event. There were a couple of Cameroonian uncles there.
Yeah.
And they said, Nadine, you're in Calgary? I said, yes. Like, since we saw you in 2014 when you came, we never saw you again. We thought you relocated. I said, no, I didn't relocate. I was doing the grind. I was working. So like, we never ever saw you in any event. I said, there was no time. I go to work, I come back, I sit my ass down in the house, I study.
Yep.
I look for jobs. There was no time. All the Saturday, there's party here, party there. I was at home studying. There was no time. That's why you're only seeing me 10 years later. You saw me in 2014, you're seeing me in 2024 again.
Yeah.
Where have I been for the last 10
In
years?
between.
Walking.
Wow. There's a lot to learn from there for a lot of people, because I think people get carried away so easily, especially in this part of the world where almost everything looks shiny, almost everything looks like.
Yeah, a lot of people tell me, Nadine, it almost feels like you just came out from somewhere in 2024. Because 2024 was when, Nadine is receiving this award here, she's there, she's like, where were you? Did you just come? Oh, I'm like, no, I've lived in Calgary for 12 years. Really? How come we're just hearing about you here? I was working.
Yeah.
I didn't focus on, in those early years, to rather be what I'm not and be here and there, giving what value, who am I?
Yeah.
I shut down and worked and build what I needed to build.
Yeah.
And I think that's the lesson. Focus on solidifying the foundation. Focus on building rather than looking like something that you're not.
You don't want to look the part.
Yeah, so that at the time when you start looking like it, there's 10 years of work behind you that you've buried your head down and got the job done.
Yeah. And that's a solid foundation that nothing shakes it at that point.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now let's switch gears a little bit. Your book, Quarterback. I know most of what we've talked about sort of already touches on some of the content in Quarterback. And for those of you who have not gotten a copy, it's a real guide that you need if you want to navigate the corporate world out here. Now, from your experience after getting the first job, and from there, you circulated around the big fours a little bit more. Now, tell us part of the things that inspired you to want to put all of that in a book or in a guide for other people. Within the
10
corporate
years of grinding, holding leadership roles across multiple amazing firms. I think the Big Fours are one of the greatest employers of labor. I mean, there are other big companies, but they are employing 10,000 plus. So in that 10,000 plus, probably 9,000 or 7,000 are immigrants, right? And then I'm leading all these ERG networks, employee resource groups. That's what it means. And I want to say that maybe I shouldn't call it luck, because I think my journey prepared me to be the kind of person that I am.
Yeah.
But I became that person that a lot of people in the companies felt very free to confide in me with all of the things that they were going through.
Okay.
And maybe because of everything that I had gone through in my life, I told you my first rejection at 18, 10 times, boom, failing in the spotlight, prepared me to be almost like a sounding board, the kind of person that when everyone spoke to, they felt like I understood, because I actually truly did. So I almost became a collector of stories. Like, people are like, this is what I'm going through, talk through it. It's so, and then this is across various organizations. So I got to a point where I had heard enough and seen all of the errors, seen all of the mistakes, seen some of the unfairness. There's also that part, but there's also a lot of errors and mistakes on our part as the immigrants. And I decided to tackle, writing Quarterback was tackling it not from the perspective of, oh, some sort of people are unfair to us. That's a part that is out of my control. I don't care about the kind of things I can't control. It's more from the perspective of what are the mistakes I'm making that I can fix on my part to prepare me forward. True. So Quarterback focused on the areas that we as professionals, as immigrants, I call it an immigrant's guide to corporate North America, but after it went through the first editor who picked up the book said, the strategies in this book do not only apply to immigrants, everybody needs it.
I was actually going to say that at some point, because I glanced through it and I read a few of the sections, and I'm like, this is very applicable for anybody who is trying to navigate things, irrespective of whether you're an immigrant or not. Like, the nuggets there are very applicable. Immigrants are going to benefit the most from it, but
it's for everybody. Yes. It is for everybody. I've had, like, let me digress a little bit. I've had people who are like in C-suite levels in companies like reach out to me to tell me, oh my God, a lot of the things that you say, I'm using them. You might feel like I'm very much higher in level to you, but I wake up every morning and the first thing I do on LinkedIn is go to your profile to see what wisdom you've dropped for the day. Wow. And things like that really motivate me. But back to the editing process of Quarterback. So the editor said, a lot of the strategies in this book apply to everybody, not just immigrants. Would you want to change the name? And I said, no, I'm not going to change the name. I always like to do things from my lived experiences. Yeah. It is titled An Immigrant's Guide to Corporate North America because I am an immigrant and it's an immigrant writing this book. And I want the fact that I'm an immigrant to shine through from the name of the book and all of that. However, in the very intro of the book, we said, although this book is titled An Immigrant's Guide to Corporate North America, it is for everybody. Yeah. So anybody who picks up the book to read it, don't look at the title and say, oh no, it's for immigrants. Like, I actually clarified that within the book. But it's because I am an immigrant, proudly so. very unapologetic about my journey because it made me me, and I wanted it to be very evident in the
Yeah.
title of the book. That's why I left it that way.
I
Yeah,
like
but
that because I think first of all, when it comes to immigrant voices, it's very important to keep shining the light on it, right? Because a lot of the things that even most of these big companies and countries, think of Canada, US, the UK, Australia, a lot of these different countries, it's actually immigrants that are the bedrock
yeah,
of everything that's going on. Um, Sometimes you have other countries where they try to, paint the word immigrant in a negative way, right? But almost everything that is working within the system, it's
was
actually
built by
immigrants that,
immigrants.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that you insisted on that. And the cover, let's touch on that because
I designed it myself.
you did.
Yeah,
This looks fantastic.
I
Like
designed
it's
it myself.
amazing.
So I gave I already had the cover design
Okay.
saved. And so when I was speaking with the publishing company, they said, do you have a cover or should we design a cover? And I said, you know what, let me give you the creative freedom, design something and send to me. Because I thought, well, maybe what I've designed is not good enough. And they say they are professionals in this field.
Yep.
So I said, design something and send to me. And then they design and they send. I looked at it, I was like, this is nothing compared to what I designed. Use my own.
Oh man. So this is good to know that you did this yourself because it looks really good,
Thank you.
right? Because it gives that, like the boss mode kind of feeling in
So
a corporate setting.
that's an immigrant in a boardroom
Yeah.
in corporate North America. So that the cover is a representation of the book.
Yeah.
So the purpose of writing this book is for the immigrant to get into corporate North America, correct whatever mistakes or things that okay, this is how we did it back home, but you want to come and do it the same way you do it here. It's not necessarily going to work.
Yeah.
This is how it works here. I'm giving you these strategies because I want you to win. So then that's an immigrant in a boardroom dominating in corporate America.
Right.
The immigrant in the boardroom with a very dominating
Appearance.
in corporate America being the backdrop.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how
It sells the story
Yeah.
entirely. And the name quarterback, how did you come across? How did that name come up?
That's an interesting one. So this book was written, and the football parallel was not there yet.
Okay. Did you come up with the title before the book, or you wrote the book and then you?
The
came up
title
with
of the book
title?
was An Immigrant's Guide to Corporate North America.
Okay.
Just that.
Yeah.
And so then it's sitting in my computer, the manuscript, and I kept saying to myself, this book is not ready for publishing. So I started going through this back and forth about whether to put it out or not put it out in January of 2025. So I have this manuscript already in my computer in 2024. And An Immigrant's Guide. Initially it was a Black girl's guide to corporate North America.
Okay.
And I'm like, if I say a Black girl's guide to corporate North America, people think I'm talking to only just one subset of people. But throughout my journey, people from Venezuela, from Brazil,
many
from
different-
India,
yeah.
different. I don't know how I became this person, but I think it's a mantle given to me by God that
Yeah.
so many people look up to me to be the person that if they talk to, they're going to get answers to the issues that they're facing at work. And surprisingly, they always get the answers. I don't know how. so I'm like, no, this is going to be unfair to all of this other subset of people.
Yeah,
So it
you don't
should be
want to
an
focus
immigrant.
on just.
Yeah. So I'm beginning January 2025. It's changed from a Black girl's guide to corporate North America to An Immigrant's Guide to Corporate North America. And then it's sitting in my computer, but every day I'll go to bed and I'm like, God, something is missing. When I look at the manuscript, I'll read it, I'm like, it's something is missing. I'm not getting, I said, there's just a factor that's not working.
not.
Something is missing. Then one day I had a conversation with a friend, and then he's asking me, so when are you putting out the book? I said, something is missing. I feel like there's something missing. I can't put it out yet. He said, what do you think is missing? Is it a metaphor? Have you thought? I'm like, maybe that's what is missing,
Yeah.
but I don't know what the metaphor is. So then we spoke. I said, anyway, I'll just pray about it and go to bed. So I pray about it, and then I go to bed, and then I wake up the next morning, and then I remember a movie I had watched on Netflix back in 2018. It was about a guy from a very poor family in the United States who wanted to be a quarterback. And he didn't go to school, but he was really good at football. And he said to himself, it is this football that will take his family out of poverty.
Wow.
And so he's gonna play, he's gonna train, he's gonna record himself, and then coaches from different teams will come to scout for players. He's gonna go audition and he'll get rejected. His spirit will be so broken. He'll cry for one night. The next day, he's back to the field training. He'll train, record himself. The next coach comes for audition. He runs there. He said, I think I'm really good. Like, I said, coach, you really need to watch me play. You really need to watch my game tape. I know I'm good. The coach will look at him, watch his game tape, reject him. He'll come back home. He'll tell his mom they're suffering. He's like, Mommy, don't worry. The rejection is not breaking him. He'll cry for a day. The next day, he's back to the field, training, recording. When he hears a coach comes, he's the first person on the line, standing at the front. I believe I'm good. I'm meant for this. You need to take me. And eventually, he got picked up by a team.
Wow.
And then he became the best quarterback. And I was like, that is it.
That's a story
That's
right there.
it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to become. It does not matter if you've been laid off 15 times. Let it not break your spirit, because you only fail when you give up on yourself.
That's true.
And I'm like, everybody needs to be the quarterback for themselves.
Yeah.
That's how this became quarterback.
Interesting. I like that. That's a solid story behind the name. Now, for anyone who is thinking about picking up this book, what do you think readers are going to get out of it? Because for me, I looked at it, I said, this is very relatable, right?
Read what is behind the book. That's what they're going to get out of it.
Now, corporate North America is like a football field. Fast-paced, unpredictable, and full of obstacles. As an immigrant, you're not just playing the game. You're learning the rules while running the plays. It is tough, but it's achievable. Just like an elite quarterback leads a team with vision, strategy, and composure, you can lead your career with confidence and purpose. Think of your new country as the field, corporate North America as the game, and you, the immigrant, as the quarterback. You cannot score if you do not get on the field. Read the field, trust your instincts, and throw with fearless precision. Make bold plays that change the game for you and for those coming behind you.
That's it.
I like that. So, folks, it's a real guide to helping you succeed in corporate North America. And you don't have to be an immigrant before you pick it up. I would say immigrants would benefit the most from it, but really, if you're trying to navigate the corporate world, this is a real guide for you to pick up. And I'm sure you're going to connect with Nadine to either get a personal signed copy like I have here, or connect with her on LinkedIn and other social media. She's very active there.
Yeah. If you want to get a signed copy, you can connect with me and get it from me directly. Otherwise, just get it on Amazon.
I like that. So, now, shifting gears from there, I'll take it a bit light at this point, because I know we've been going hard from the very beginning, like, So I'm going to give you a couple of, I'm going to make a sentence, and I want you to just choose one of the options that comes to your mind.
Okay.
All right? Jollof rice or shawarma?
Jollof rice. Come on. Yeah.
Have you tried Niger shawarma?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure you try it at some point.
Okay.
And then we'll revisit that question if it's still jollof rice you're going with.
Okay.
But it has a different flavor to it.
I would like to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, when you complete this sentence, when I moved to Canada and I heard my house rent was X amount, I did something. How did you react?
I can't complete the statement because I got low income housing. I got low income housing. I was poor and desperate. I went to the center where they help poor people, and I'm like, please, I need a place to stay, otherwise I'll be on the streets.
Oh my God, that's a good one because once you compare getting free housing
Yeah.
and then paying the actual rent of the housing, you're just like,
It wasn't free, but it was subsidized.
Yeah.
And even with the subsidized amount, I was still unable to make the month-to-month payment.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't relate as much with people who actually paid market rate.
Right.
Yeah.
Because even with the subsidized rate, you're prioritizing paying for school fees.
I was
but
prioritizing
still,
paying for school fees. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. iMessage or WhatsApp?
WhatsApp. I use WhatsApp a whole lot more. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Compared to iMessage?
Yeah, I use WhatsApp compared to iMessage. I even use WhatsApp even for calls.
Yeah,
If
especially
you're within Canada.
And sometimes you actually forget that you're calling folks on
local,
WhatsApp,
yeah.
right? And then you just put it, you're like, oh, okay, I'm just going to dial. And then rather than making the direct calls, you're already doing it
My
on.
friends always say, why do you like calling on WhatsApp? I'm like, I'm not even conscious about it. I just know people chat mostly on WhatsApp than any other.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's almost like my go-to for everything. Message, calls, everything.
No, I think, and with the fact that it doesn't mind what type of phone you're using. Whether you're using an Android phone
Yeah, it
or an
doesn't.
iPhone,
Yeah.
it sort
It's
of
universal.
cuts across everything. Now, this last one is going to be a bit tricky, but I'll let you answer it.
Okay.
Football, basketball.
Football now. Quarterback.
What kind of football?
American football.
How did I know you're going to go to American football?
In the process of going through quarterback really immersed me into
I could
American
see
football.
that from
Yeah.
the analysis there.
Exactly. I did good research.
Yeah.
At first, it was more of, I love watching the halftime show during the Super Bowl. And then when I was going into writing a book that quarterback was going to be the metaphor,
Yeah.
I studied the game.
'Cause
I did.
I read it and I saw the analysis there. I'm like, oh, Nadine has done her homework on
Yeah.
this one. Because
A
I'm not sure if you're into
quarterback-
sports, but
Yeah, a quarterback, an actual quarterback,
Yeah.
met me at an event. And he said, when I saw the book, I was like, come on, what does she even know about football? This girl knows nothing of what she's talking about. And then because of that, I got the book and I read it. I was like, wait a minute, this girl knows everything of what she's talking about. Like even when the editor, so I did sadly, I had to do a lot of the editing of this book also myself.
Okay.
Because it's not that I'm being ungrateful for the editor. She did an amazing job telling me about, it's not going to be just immigrants. So I had to bring in those clarifications within the book, though it is titled An Immigrant's Guide, it applies to everybody.
Yeah.
But in the football front, she was completely blank. And then she's like, all these your football things, I don't understand it. Do you want to
Analogy.
clarify? I'm
Yeah.
like, if I clarify, it takes away from the book. I don't have to clarify it.
Yeah, like-
Let everybody go. It's going to give people an opportunity to know about football.
sure. Because it's fact, right? Like
Yeah.
those are verifiable facts.
Yeah.
It's just like you're breaking down how the game works and
Mm-hmm.
then the role that a quarterback plays. And anybody that knows about football would be like, okay, like
Yeah.
this is making sense. But one thing you didn't ask me was whether I was talking about North American football or the football that we all grew up with, soccer.
That's the thing. The football we all grew up with soccer. That's why it made me picking quarterback easier because that's the equivalent.
Yeah.
Do you know the passion when Cameroon, Nigeria is playing? All of us are seated like.
Everybody's at the edge
Even
of
if
their
you're not a
seats.
football fan, you are like
Yeah.
football moves Africa.
Yeah.
Africans like food. That's when you know that people are patriotic.
Yeah. Yeah, because almost most of the other guests of her, whenever I see that, they're always like, which football are you
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah.
Are you talking about North American football or soccer?
Not
or
American
the football
football.
that
Is, when you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do.
Yeah,
Another
that's-
reasoning behind titling this book quarterback for North American football is because I know how Africans are so passionate about soccer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're out of Africa, you are here. You see that passion that you're passionate about soccer? Transfer it.
Yeah.
To understand their own game,
Yeah.
so that when they are doing all of those chit chats during meetings, and they're like, "Oh my God, this team was playing," you have at least have something to say.
Yeah, you should.
You should, because you have to get along with them.
Yeah.
It is in those little chit chat moments that your personality shines, and I want you to bring that personality to work, because then they get to know you. People want to work with people that they like.
True.
And you have to be likable. So no, I was not going to use soccer because we're in North America.
Yeah. And this is an immigrant's guide to corporate North America.
Yeah. So Quadaba worked in several ways. Yeah.
I like that. Because, a lot of those chit chats before meetings start and everything, right? It's always a great opportunity to connect with other people. Sometimes the politics goes on there as well. And if you know how to read the room, that's when you either get that quick access to someone from those little conversations there. I like that. So with quarterback launching and everything, because this is almost like a movement of some sort, right? Now, with the book launching and everything, is there a plan to stop by in different cities and connect with immigrants there? Because I know you're already doing a whole lot for immigrants, like giving back, right? Is there anything that people should look forward to?
Yeah, so we're going to Edmonton November 22nd, Toronto March 2026. But I've put it out there, if you want quarterback to come to your city, let me know, because I can't be the only one pushing and organizing everything. Edmonton is organized by When African Women Talk and Power in a Pause. These are two non-for-profits that came together to put it together for Edmonton. Toronto, I'm part of the organization team, but there's a whole other team in Toronto working with me to get that done. So if you wanted to come to your city, you just need to reach out and we'll do that. Yeah.
And what's the best way for folks to reach out to you?
If you send me a message on Instagram, I'll respond. Send me a message on LinkedIn, I'll respond. Yeah.
So Instagram and LinkedIn, those are the two platforms that you use the most.
Yep.
And
I think those are the only two platforms I have. The plenty social media satire.
The other ones you haven't even thought about.
I don't even have a Snapchat account. I don't know if it's TikTok.
Snapchat and TikTok.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think TikTok. They say TikTok is a thing right now, but
yeah, it is. Like there's a lot of buzz around it. Like even the other day I was watching Dancing with the Stars. They actually have like a TikTok session right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like driving a lot of traffic to that platform. And I think it's very strategic as well, because one of the stars there is like a TikTok star. So when you hear stuff like that, you're like, okay, like this person is a star, but TikTok is the platform that made this person a star.
Yeah, I really think I'll make you a star too. I remember I had a podcast with CPA, and then they told me that, just a heads up, we are going to ask you a question. What is one life hack? Tell us one thing that is on common sense, but is so important to know in life. And I was thinking, I'm like, what is this thing? So one day I took my team out for lunch, my team mostly younger demographics, and I'm like, guys, I have a question. I need you guys to help me. And they're like, what's the question? I said, I need to answer this question, and I don't know I've been thinking for a very long time. I'm not sure what the answer is going to be. What is one life hack, one thing in life that is not on common sense, but you think everybody should know? And you know what all of them told me?
No.
Get a TikTok account.
Oh, really? That is interesting.
After that conversation, I downloaded the app, but I never proceeded to actually set it up.
Are they all like Gen Zs?
Mostly, yeah.
Most of them. Wow.
Like, get a TikTok account. Like, TikTok gives you a lot of life hacks that you would not have thought about. I'm like, wow, this platform is powerful.
That's a learning for me personally, because I mean, like sometimes I always knew it as that platform where you see a whole lot of funny stuff, a lot of trending things there, and it's so gluey, right? You get into it, you think you're probably gonna watch something for like 2 minutes. Before you know it, it's like
3 hours.
yeah, it fights for your attention, right? So if they're saying it's a life hack, I think there are probably a lot of things there that they put in there which becomes a trend
Education,
first of
yeah.
all. And
They said
know.
everything hits TikTok before it ever gets to Instagram.
wow,
Yeah.
wow,
There's a lot
that's
to learn from the
eye-opening.
Gen Zs.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
that's eye-opening. Well, shout out to our Gen Zs out there. I know they have like a whole new language for themselves. So in
And their
order,
things are getting adopted into the dictionary. Yeah. You can. There was another time I had a training session with, I think, 13-year-olds and below.
okay,
These people started training me. They were like, "Do you know?" Okay, now I cannot remember a lot of the words. They were teaching me new words. Hello, miss. Do you know what this means? I'm like, I was just looking at them. I'm like, wow, you guys are in a completely different
Oh,
generation.
yeah.
I absolutely do not relate. I'm old.
well, there's a whole lot to learn from the Gen Zs for sure. So, when you think about immigrants, right? Immigrants that are just getting in, immigrants that are thinking about immigrating, immigrants that are in the process of immigrating. What's the one word, or I wouldn't say one word, but what would you want to leave with them that would encourage them in that whole process? Either for someone who just arrived, someone who is thinking about immigrating, or someone who is already in the process of immigrating.
It cannot be one word across. Somebody who is thinking about immigrating is going to, for me, it's why. Why do you want to do it? It's a
Yeah.
different thing when you're immigrating in your 20s, and it's a different thing when you're immigrating in your 30s and in your 40s.
True.
Your 30s and your 40s, you probably already established where you are.
Yeah.
Why do you want to drop all of that and move here? Right? So that's something for you to think about. You're established where you are, you have a job, probably a very good role where you're working. Why do you want to drop all that and come here? Is it because of things people have posted on social media and they deceived you that the life here is amazing? So really think about your why. For those who just came, you are already here,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't matter if that was the right decision or the wrong decision. You are here. You have to make it. Focus.
You've already
It's
made
tough
the
right now. You've
decision.
already made the decision to come. If you say no, I can't do it, go back. They've forgotten about you. The moment you left back there, they replaced you. Whatever company you're in, somebody else happily took your position. So you have to make it here. And for some people, they're probably starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Just drop the pride. You know who I used to be in my country? I used to be a doctor, I used to be a general manager. You are in Canada now, nobody cares. If you have to stock shares in Walmart and take some certifications to eventually get there, just humble yourself and get it done. Things will get better. Just focus.
It's
And
the
do the
reality.
needful. Yeah.
I mean, there couldn't be a better way to put it, because that's the deep truth. When depending on where you are, what you're thinking of, or whether you just landed. Now we have a tradition on the podcast where the previous guest leaves a question for the next guest. So I don't get to read the question. And
Oh, so somebody left a question for me.
yeah, the previous guest left a question for you.
Okay.
So the only time when we open the book is when you're sitting here. So I don't know what the question is, but you can read out the question, and then you answer it.
How will I know where the question is?
The very last question.
What will you do differently from the norm of today's society? The good thing is that I don't follow norms.
Okay.
Yeah, I do things based on how I'm inspired to do them, and what the Holy Spirit is placing in my heart to do. And I think that has always worked for me. Like, I've hardly been someone that even when I go on a stage to talk, my speech is hardly scripted.
Okay.
What I do is, if someone says, hey Nadine, I need you to come to this place, I need you to come talk to this set of people. 1 week to that event, my prayer point is, God, I've been called to come to speak to this set of people. you alone know the hearts of everybody and you know what they're going through.
Mm.
Speak through me. And so that's why every time I've ever spoken somewhere and left, people always come to me and said, I was going through this when I came here. And when you spoke, I got answers.
Wow.
So I tend to do things as led, not because that's what is trending on TikTok or social media. I tend to do things based on what's the purpose, what's the why, what has God called me to do, not necessarily what societal norms are. And I think this is a big problem we have in the society today, where everybody is beginning to look like everybody, sound like everybody, do things because of the way everybody is doing. There's no authenticity, no originality, no uniqueness. If we all can really look within and listen to the inner man, and if you're a Christian, really listen to God and say, what are you calling me to do with this? Yeah. It's gonna go a lot differently.
I like that. So now is your turn to write a question for the next guest who's going to be sitting there.
Okay. Do I have to write it now on camera?
Yeah, we'll give you time to write it. No pressure. Take your time.
I don't want you to see it.
No, I'm not even going to try to see it. Because I like the surprise when whoever it is opens the book, reads the question, and then whatever you've left, the person has to answer it.
Yeah.
But I hope the person will be a good quarterback.
Definitely. If you're not a good quarterback, start thinking about how to become a great quarterback.
Yeah.
For yourself, not for anybody else.
I agree, 100%. Now, when it comes to like just with your experience navigating your own personal journey, right? Now, I want to focus this a little bit on like some of the culture shock that most people experience, either from a financial perspective. Some students, obviously, they think once you come in, you just get a job and then you start making money, and then you pay up your bills or your tuition and stuff. For some other people, it's a credit card situation. They get in, they get a credit card, they start using the credit card as though it's a debit card, and then before they know it, they're ragging up in debt, right? Was there any sort of culture shock or anything you can share with some folks based on your experience navigating those different situations that could help them out to be a lot more focused when it comes to the financial side of things?
That's a whole different topic that I can't answer. And there's a lot of things you need to understand. The tax system, the taxation system, the kind of things you can take advantage of, the kind of investment plans that work to your advantage. And even you get given a credit card, it's good to have a credit card to build credit, but ensure you're not missing your minimum payments. Yeah. But then the important part really is understanding the tax heavens, the things that the government have put in place to help you pay less taxes. If you can master that, it's going to help you go a long way. So when you see people putting together financial seminars, don't say, I don't have time, I have to go pick up a shift. Please try and listen.
Yeah, make out time for it, because you could learn something. You could get a hack or two that would really change things for you. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Get into those plans. When your company say we are doing a direct deduction from your paycheck, which we are going to match, they are not stealing your money. A lot of people think, no, I want all of my money in my account. No, you're being penny wise, pound foolish. Sign up for it.
I like that. Nadine, thank you so much for being on JAKPA Stories. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your experiences. I think there's a whole lot that we uncovered today, which folks would learn a whole lot from it. And I think we've already touched on, if they wanted to connect with you, they can connect with you on LinkedIn and also on Instagram. And when it comes to like mentoring others, is there anything you have going on that that others could leverage?
Yeah, my plate is full. I'm not taking more mentees. Yeah, I have enough. So I'm not going to sign anybody up formally as a mentee anymore. However, I'm open to having meetings with folks to talk about things every now and then.
Okay.
Because I take mentorship seriously and I can't be spread too thin. I'll
Agree.
eat bread. You can always reach out to me to talk about something, and we're going to have a conversation about it. Yeah.
Okay. So if they reach out, LinkedIn or Instagram, shoot a message, and
Yeah.
then, and the other part is that's why we have stuff like this, so that even if you don't get access one-on-one,
You have the book.
you have the book, you have the podcast where nuggets like this have been dropped
Exactly.
that would help you, because a lot of times people expect to hear different things and they try to hear what they want to hear, not really what they need to hear.
Exactly. And I'll find people sending me a message on LinkedIn to ask me a question about something I've written in the book.
Yeah.
And I'll ask them, have you read the book? Or you just need me to still just get into a 30-minute meeting with you and talk?
Yeah.
I have a full-time job. And all of this on the side. It's not always that easy. But at least make an effort to read the book. And then you can come, like, there's nobody who has reached out to me to say, hey, Nadine, I read the book. There's an area that I want us to discuss
Yeah.
that I haven't spoken with them.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So the book is a good starting point.
It's a good starting point.
And if you still have more questions from there, you can either look forward to the next event where Nadine is going to be part of, or you can reach out to her on social media.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank you
for
for
making
having
our
me.
time. And we look forward to a future episode where we're probably going to have a group conversation, because there are certain topics that we would still need to peel off a little bit.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
What does being a quarterback mean to you after everything we've spoken about?
Being a quarterback to me means taking full ownership of your career, taking full ownership of the things that are important to you, not sitting back and waiting for doors to open. Sometimes you have to go and knock the door. Sometimes if you knock the door, if it doesn't open, you have to break the door.
Exactly.
Let people know that you have something inside of you that needs to be heard. That's what being a quarterback means to me.
Perfect.
All right.
Hey, JAKPA Stories. This shout out is for you. Keep telling the stories of everybody who has gone through the trenches and has emerged on the other side, because so many people need to know, so that they know that they are not alone. Keep doing this. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.